So we're now approaching the new year. We survived. Everyone makes New Year's resolutions. I'm not going to, because I'll break most of the resolutions I make, because in certain areas I don't have any willpower. But I am going to make a couple of predictions for the not only 2019 but for the coming years. You know, I think it's a pretty fun activity to do a podcasts like these, because it's a little bit more lighthearted, less heavy, maybe. But I'd like to kick the new year off with bold predictions that I have for 2019 and beyond. So here we go. My first big prediction is on the front of the presidential race. I said it in an earlier podcast. There's people that you have to watch. And if President Trump is still in office, he will have a formidable opponent in Beto O'Rourke. I believe the Democrats, in their desperate 11th hour, are going to get out of silly season, like Barack Obama had told Hillary that one time, to get out of silly season. I believe they're going to abandon this idea of embarrassing Hillary Clinton so that she can get beat again. I mean, she's been beaten by the black guy. She's been beaten by the alleged racist. That according to certain polls, nobody liked, yet the guy still won. And, let's not do that to Hillary. Let's not let her be the woman who was beaten by the Russian the Russian sympathizer. She will have been beaten by everybody. She's going to become the Jerry Cooney of and for those of you who are too young that don't know, Larry Holmes made an example of him. Several boxers made an example of him. He was supposed to be the great white hope, and it didn't go like that. We don't want Hillary to turn into that. Let's spare her. I predict Beto O'Rourke, and I don't know if Biden is up for it. There's been talks of Biden being up for it, but I believe that they will be scandal. If they stay scandal free, if nobody pulls dirt out, that really matters. They will probably be the presidential frontrunners because they look the role. Some woman, a black woman on social media said we need a strong white male candidate to win this time. So now it's a matter of cosmetics. And, cosmetically speaking, Beto O'Rourke has been called a white Barack Obama. He's easy on the eyes. He's got all of the peripheral, superficial things that one must have in a candidate to lead the country into the future, policy notwithstanding. So I predict Beto O'Rourke will give Donald Trump a run for his money if he's not impeached and removed from office. That's my first prediction. My next prediction is I think African Americans are going to wake up after they've been cast aside by the Democratic Party because they're no longer useful in the same way. And Democrats are going to focus on the new workhorse, which is the immigrant. That's right. You heard it here, politically incorrect. I believe the power of the African American is going to be sorely compromised as the number of immigrants come in outside of the ability to be consumers at an unseen rate. I think African Americans are going to suffer a compounded problem with the influx of immigrants. And I believe they will become the new pool for the Democrats to neglect once they have their votes. That's what I genuinely believe. And the continued rhetoric that we're all in this together, you know, people of color. No, we're not, man. Everybody's got their own thing going. Sink or swim. Society. What are my predictions for society? Well, I have one on the forefront of dating. Dating as we know it is dead. And feminist extremism helped kill that. I predict men will be less interested in marriage than they are in what kind of flowers are growing in a garden. They don't give a shit whether they're crepe myrtles or marigolds. I think men are going to start thinking of relationships as a whole in that way. And what started out as pockets, you know, you have your MGTOW, you have your MRA. The normal average male is going to start reassessing what marriage really is. Feminism in all of its in all of its glory has made their crazy idea of liberation at all costs has made it so that men really don't have to get married. You know, the idea women are like, I can sleep around with whoever. You know, if you're heterosexual, you're sleeping with a man. Most men get married so that they can have in-house sex and companionship. Men are learning that pretty much they're utilities. You know, it was funny. I even looked at reasons for divorce, and the reasons for divorce are changing. One reason on there was basically, in a nutshell, if the man loses his job and can't take care of you, that's a grounds for divorce. Fuck out of here. That's hilarious. In men being men, most of us operate off of logic. We have to do an assessment, and the assessment is if nobody else is taking care of us, we got to take care of ourselves. Operation disconnect. If you think dating a man is hard now, ladies, you're going to wonder where to find one. Statistics show that as women get more independent and more in charge, the less happy they become. However, there's another poll that says men who are now embracing being single are happier than they've ever been in their entire lives. And they're clicking their heels together because guess what? Through feminism, they can have the casual sex that they want. And then they can send you away. Good job. Good job. Before, there were parameters. And there was value within one another. There's no value between the two. A woman will drop a man, an independent woman will drop a man like a hot sack of potatoes. Love in the time of social media sucks. I'd rather sit this one out. I'm getting old anyway. So this is one that I can sit on the sidelines and watch. The next prediction. African Americans are going to be forced to be accountable. Oh, that's hateful. That's mean. Boy, I'm going to get daggers for that. I know that I'm going to get daggers for that. But let me expound upon that. As the Democrats abandon the African American, it's a great time. And it's a great time because you fully get to see where you stand within the context of America. And you'll realize through your flight or fight impulse that something has to be done differently. You've always had the crutch of white guilt. Oh man, you could play that race card at any time. Boom, get you a lot of shit. That's leaving. Nobody's interested anymore. And California and Chicago, black neighborhoods still look the same. I predict African Americans in the coming years will be forced to become self-sufficient in a way that they hadn't seen since the 30s and the 20s. When people really hated you, did some great things back then because you were forced to do great things. You didn't have a choice. You got too many choices now. The choice of turning on the white guilt button, gone bye-bye. Now that you're dead, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Quoting Christian Slater from the movie Heathers. I predict that black people will lose interest in being monolithic and rescuing everybody who's of the same shade that they are. Race baiters are going to pay a heavy toll as they're going to lose followers. Tariq Nasheed is probably going to get hit really hard behind this, because I think we're seeing the beginnings of blacks getting tired of the recital of white supremacy without there being an outcome. Ultimately, people don't do anything unless there's something in it for them. And so far, the only thing that's been in it for following race hustlers and race baiters is more racism. More reasons as to why you can't do and why you can't have, and it's completely out of your hands. People are getting sick of that. Last prediction of the year. I think we're going to see a simplicity culture emerge. There's simply too much outrage. People are becoming sick of outrage. And when things become too cumbersome, do you know what most people do? They quit fucking with it. They leave it alone, whether it's that woman that keeps badgering you or that man who won't get up off of his ass. Or that political figure that won't do what they said that they'll do. People will abandon ship. That's why we have the president that we do now. And some people will say, no, it's because, whites mobilized. No, fuck no, man. There's not enough rule people in the country to put that man over. That man got put over because people were sick of same-o. You know what same-o is? And I'm not talking about Basquiat's alter ego. I'm talking about same-o shit. Same-o garbage. Same-o talk. Same old politics that pull famous people up out of their asses when it's time to run, and then they disappear after they get what they want. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the era of the skeptic, the logical skeptic. They won't talk very much. They won't blow up every step of the way. You know what they're always going to say? What are your facts? What are your facts? And one bonus prediction, which is funny. I predict people are going to start dying earlier. We literally eat everything processed. They process shit that has no reason to be processed except for the sake of killing us. I believe the length of life is going to decrease. There's some studies that show that it's already underway. I don't think the next generation will outlive us. I think 60 will probably be the cutoff year, or you'll be lucky to see 60. If you see 60, you're doing a damn good job. What are your predictions for 2019 and beyond? Now, these are all opinions. I know we're Empirical Planet, but this is just a fun. I guess I had fun. I don't know. We'll label it as a fun poll. I would love to know what everybody thinks. Feel free to comment, leave a post, smash that like button. And until the next time, everybody, take care.